Ah, you know, I thought weekends were actually for relaxing. But this weekend, I have spent most of my time running around behind myself, trying to figure out how to do new systems and new programs, new math. It's really been tiring, and it's not going to get any easier because unfortunately winter is an enormously busy time of the year for me, given that I have this greenhouse. Ah, Mr. Jameson, I love thee. So how many types of hydroponics are there? There are actually about 6 types of hydroponics, including my Nft system, including the system that I'm about to show you, and including deep water aquaculture. Aeroponics is actually considered a type of hydroponics, so yes, that's included there too. How many types of actual growing systems are there, including soil-based, including other air-based systems? Well, probably hundreds. Remember that the original hydroponics were as far back as Egypt, and also the Aztecs used them, and any number of cultures in between that. We have no idea off of this planet how many growing systems we're going to develop for use out in space, on Mars, on the moon. There's simply no way of knowing. Right now, it can be confusing knowing exactly what to use, when to use it, and why to use it. The only thing I can tell you is experiment with what you have and what you can afford at any given time. And for goodness sake, relax a little on your weekends. Here we are, we're back in the nice hot greenhouse, and I am starting yet another new project. Surprise, surprise. Some of you may know, some of you may not know, there is more than one hydroponic technique. What I am currently doing in the greenhouse is called an Nft system, or a nutrient film technique. This is a process by which the nutrients are run over the roots in either a constant or a timed manner. This, with just a single container, no pump, no aeration. Well, you can use aeration if you want, I'll explain that later. No pump, no complicated equipment, just nutrients, water. You can check the pH. You may not be able to check the pH. This is called the Kratky method. I've never done the Kratky method, so I figured it's probably about time that I did try it. I've got 2 pretty good candidates for this, and that is 2 of my rooted peppers that I did from my pepper trimmings, and they've turned out quite nice. Those roots look really good, don't they? I really like them. They smell fantastic. They've got new leaves forming. They are definitely ready for a change in life, and I'm going to give it to them. I've labeled each of these differently. I'm going to use the same water. I'm going to use the same nutrients. And of course, I'm using the same peppers off the same plant that have the same genetics. So the only difference is one of these bottles is wrapped in silver tape. One of these bottles is wrapped in black tape. almost all of us know that when light hits, you know, the black, the bottle's going to be warmer. Bottle hits the silver, it's going to be cooler. So, which of the peppers, which both love, they truly, thoroughly enjoy heat and hot, humid environments, which of these peppers is going to do better? Hopefully, we'll find out. If either of them do okay, since I'm not experienced in the Kratky method. I came across a really good recommendation for using my flora nutrients, which is great. I don't have to buy anything new. These bottles were from filling up my hydroponics unit, and these I had ordered for the Nft system anyway. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 12 milliliters per gallon, and that makes it easy. These are just 1 gallon, so 12 milliliters of micro, 12 milliliters of grow, and 3 milliliters of the bloom. Now, anybody remember the special little thing about micro? It wasn't so long ago, just 2 videos. Mix the micro first, and don't mix it with the other ones. The water that I'm using is not the crystal geyser water. This is from my zero water filtration system, so it actually has 0 on the TDS. At least it should, if my filter's been holding out. Yep, there we go. 0. So my water currently has 0 particles in it, which is great. And got a nice clean syringe. Not gonna make that mistake again. All right, a little water into a cup. A little water into a cup. And 12 is all the way at the bottom here. There we go. Now I do already have some water in here, but I'm gonna put quite a bit more before I put the nutrients in it. And of course I can't fill it all the way to the top, because where will the peppers go? The thought is, as the plant grows, it takes up the water through its roots, transpires it through its leaves. It will evaporate a little through the top, and then by the time it is ready to harvest for greens, that is entirely appropriate. By the time it's ready to fruit, you're ready to either refill the system or just harvest the plant, start all over again. Yep. Fairly well. And there's my 12. And I'm gonna have to go get more water. It's so dark, isn't it? Grow. I don't know why you have to mix this stuff, but apparently it's a good idea to do it. Safety notation. These nutrients are very brightly colored. Please, please keep them out of the hands of your kids. will grow. And of course, bloom is going to give us just enough of those other micronutrients to get these babies going. I only need 3, and for 3 it just comes up to here on my syringe. Bloom. There we go. Now, these are about 3/4 of the way full. All right, one more trip into the house for more water. Okie dokie, I am back with water. I am going to fill this back up to the line. Ooh. Forgot the bottle. I'm going to fill this back up to the line that the original bottle started with. Right up here, that's going to be 1 gallon. I'm going to go just a hint lower to accommodate for the space that the roots are going to take up, but not too much because there aren't that many roots after all. Although, I don't even know if I'll make it with this much water. I may have to fill this up again. So, about a knuckle's worth. And I'm not feeling any water yet. It's really hard to see in here with like dark colored water and right now that I've got all my water, who remembers the next step? That's right, we have to check the pH, don't we? So I've added quite a bunch of stuff. I'm just gonna put the lid on, give it a bit of a mix, make sure it's all nice and even. Nutrients are all through it. There are no leaks. There we go. Or I'm gonna have to check both bottles for pH. So I'm just gonna a little bit. I'm gonna put just a little bit. There we go. Directions say halfway. And then 3 to 5 drops. I don't know if I have to shake this. I'm going to shake it anyway. One, 2, 3. I guess 4 is okay. Put the lid on. Shake it. Not really expecting too much of a change from the Nft system. Here's what you're seeing. I think what you're seeing is probably what I'm seeing. I'm actually seeing closer to 5 than to 6 on this. You know, and water varies when it, you know, my water came out of my tap. It might have come through my little zero water system, but it did come out of my tap. So it's going to be an entirely different pH than the water provided in the crystal geyser bottles. I am not sure that it's way closer to 4 than 5. This doesn't make me very happy. I really need to push that up to 6. So I think today we're actually going to get to use the pH adjustment system. But first, I'm going to check the other bottle. When you take your pH, just throw this bit out. Don't put it back in the system. It might not do anything bad to your plants, but you never know. All right. Rinse out that. All right. And let's do pepper A. Just a little bit. I think that's probably enough. Let's see. Oh yeah, that's fine. Fine, fine, fine. One, two, three. All right, and yeah, I can already tell, still closer to 4 than to 5, which I don't like. I really need that to be closer to, I really need that to be closer to 6, especially for peppers that kind of like it a little closer to 6 than to 4. Okay, the thing we have to remember about the pH scale is that the lower the number, the more acidic that the pH is. The higher the number, the more basic it is. These plants, these pepper plants, are going to appreciate life much better if they're between a 6 and a 7.5. Right now they're hovering just a little, about 5, a little lower than 5, which is no good for these babies. If I just stuck them in there, they would suffer. They'd never be able to take up any of the nutrients. They'd die within a couple of days, or they'd just kind of turn yellow over time. They might get some of the nutrients. So I'm going to have to add some base to actually get that number closer to 10, up to either 6, 6.5 max. Just like with nutrients, I never ever adjust pH without diluting it. So I'm gonna have a healthy amount of dilution. Oh, and of course safety caps, because you know, only 2-year-olds can open these things. Actually, oh, it came off quite easily. I'm going to be quite conservative because I don't know how this pH is going to react. So I'll go with about 1/4 of a bulb. I really hope I don't screw it up, because then I'd have to redo the whole thing all over again. And while it wouldn't be a tragedy, it would take a lot of time because the zero water system takes forever to fill up. Okay, pepper B. And let's see. See what it did. 1, 2, 3. Well, that's a better change. That is much closer, but it's still 5 leading to 6. It's not quite 6 yet. 6 is it's pretty yellow. And it is, it's still on the side of orange. Unfortunately, you need to keep pouring bits of this out to keep it at the right level. There we go. And another little bit. Ooh, there is the wind. It has been quite quiet all day until now. Back into the test tube. And 1, 2, 3. Oh, that is much more like it. That is much yellower. It's much yellow, almost into that 6.5. I really like that. That's perfect right there. Now all I need to do is replicate that process that I used for pepper B on pepper A until I've got a good enough pH. And then the next step is to put the peppers in. Alrighty, now both of these are actually very, very close to about 6.5, 7, somewhere in there. Now, I can take a testing with this. I'm not actually sure how much good that's going to do me in these tiny little containers. Oh, there we go. Well, this is 71 and let's see. Well, that can't be right. Oh, 101 and 97. Yeah. So they're about 100, which is much higher than the Nft system was. But remember, the Nft system is very new. I like to start my parts per million out, and very few people will agree with me. I usually avoid shock by doing that in a brand new system. I put it very low and then I push it up week by week, and it does very well for me. Other people will do exactly differently, as suits best for their system. I think 100 might be okay for this. I'm a little wary of actually putting any more in it. I will look it up. But for now, I'm gonna get these plants in here because they've been sitting in nothing but water all day long, and I'm pretty sure they're hungry. Let's see. This. So, using the pool noodle, I'm gonna wrap it around the lower branch so that it is secure. I'm going to try not to mess with any of the leaves. I want those leaves to grow. I want those leaves to grow as fast as they possibly can. Come on. Come on, Mr. Pepper. A. Oh, well, it's not quite secure, is it? We need a little, Okay, well, now I have a small problem because I can't afford for this to slip all the way into the bottle, and there's nothing for it to rest its little roots on. So I'm going to rethink and come back at it. All right, I found some foam scraps. I think it might work. Maybe, kind of, sort of. I hope. Come on, baby. It's hang in there. And put those little marks in there. It's like putting a toddler in a t-shirt. There we go. Yeah. Oh, that fits very nicely now. Very nicely. There we go. Perfect. Perfect. There's Pepper A. Pepper A. I'm going to leave Pepper A in here, and you'll notice I actually did fix the lights down there. I'm going to leave Pepper A under the lights. Let's see if it'll fit. Not really. So, it is lucky I have these big lights up here. That's what's giving the picture some light. So, I'll leave it up here and make sure that this light is nice and close to it so that it has plenty of light. I don't want to burn it, but peppers don't mind heat. And I've found, especially in my yard, they enjoy the 80-degree weather, which is the norm in this greenhouse most of the time. So I'll make sure that the lights are on them, and we'll see how they do. Let's get the other one going. Go. Come on, baby. Ready. Two pepper plants. No copyright infringement intended. And I'm gonna have to go get more water. GoPro, stop recording. GoPro, stop recording. GoPro, stop recording.